the ring down, put it in the mold. You got you a death row. They don't know what's real and what's not. So, who knows?
What's the issue between you and Snoop? I seen like a video where you were saying that he didn't want you playing Pac music around him.
Yeah, I think it's probably after the New York thing, and he was like, man, turn that shit off in my house. Turn that music off in my house. And I'm like, damn, I was in there playing some unreleased shit. But, whatever he probably went through with Suge and Tupac probably hurt his feeling. He's a Libra. He's sensitive.
Yeah, I wish them two could have squashed their issues before Pac got killed. They say that Pac was mad over the comments that Snoop made, about Big and Puff, but
Yeah, you got records dissing him, all that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? And then, when you get out there to New York, you have a change of mind because he's in the public persona. So, where they at now? So, I just want to see what this Bayou pick gonna be. Snoop's Bayou pick?
yeah, I heard about that. That's in the works, right?
Yeah, I heard he probably got a nigga look like me, but he ain't gonna say my name. But most definitely, he's gonna have my music in that shit. And that's where I'm gonna get that paperwork together. One thing, you can't stop the music from going in there. You probably can stop me from looking and having a character like that in there with me. But as far as that music, I ain't signing off on shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever.
Yeah, there's nowhere around that, man. I mean, he got to put that in the movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And plus, I've been there from the beginning. So I'm going to say it right here. You got enough shit right now on your platform to make your own death row movie. That's what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all the players except the Dogg. You know what I'm saying? Once you start cutting that, you got you a death row movie. Nah. Each his own, man. I ain't on death row. I'm the happiest I ever been. I'm making money. I always been making money. I always have 15 to 20 houses to go live in. And
One of the biggest signs of maturity is being able to separate your personal feelings from someone's talent. Just because you don't like a person doesn't mean you have to pretend they aren't good at what they do. If somebody makes great music, great movies, creates great content, or excels in their profession, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging it. Too many people allow personal disagreements, competition, jealousy, or past conflicts to cloud their judgment. They become so focused on disliking the individual that they refuse to recognize the work. But the truth is simple. Talent is talent. Excellence is excellence. Facts don't change because feelings do. When you refuse to give someone credit where it's deserved, people notice. Instead of making the other person look bad, it often makes you appear bitter. It can look like you're allowing your emotions to control your ability to be objective. Strong people can say, "We don't get along, but I can't deny that person makes great music." Or, "We have our differences, but they're talented at what they do." That level of honesty earns respect. At the same time, giving someone their props doesn't mean you have to become their friend. It doesn't mean you have to support everything they do. It simply means you're mature enough to acknowledge reality. There's a difference between respecting a person's work and agreeing with their behavior. History is filled with examples of rivals who still respected each other's abilities. Athletes compete fiercely, but still acknowledge greatness. Artists may have disagreements, yet recognize another creator's influence. Business competitors may battle for market share while admitting that their opponent built something impressive. The opposite approach can become dangerous when someone refuses to acknowledge another person's accomplishments, no matter how obvious they are. It can create a mindset rooted in resentment. Over time, bitterness can become a habit. Instead of focusing on improving themselves, they become consumed with trying to tear others down. The reality is that another person's success doesn't take anything away from yours. Someone making a hit song doesn't stop you from making one. Someone creating a successful movie doesn't prevent you from creating your own success. Someone receiving recognition doesn't reduce your value. In fact, recognizing excellence can inspire you to raise your own standards and work harder toward your own goals. Another important lesson is that respect should not be conditional. If the only time you're willing to praise someone is when you're on good terms with them, then your praise may not be genuine. Real character is revealed when you can acknowledge someone's strengths, even during disagreements. The strongest individuals don't let emotions dictate every opinion they have. They can separate personal issues from professional accomplishments. They can disagree without becoming hateful. They can compete without becoming consumed by jealousy. And let's be honest, sometimes people spend so much energy refusing to give credit that they end up hurting themselves. They become known as the person who can never acknowledge anyone else's success. That reputation can close doors, damage relationships, and make people question their judgment. Confidence allows you to recognize greatness in others because you're secure in who you are. Insecurity often causes people to feel threatened by someone else's accomplishments. At the end of the day, giving credit where it's due isn't really about the other person, it's about you. It shows confidence, it shows maturity, it shows integrity. Because when you can honestly recognize greatness even in someone you don't necessarily like, you're proving that your character is bigger than your emotions. Not everybody is going to get along. Not everybody is going to agree. Conflicts will happen. Arguments will happen. Differences of opinion will always exist. But one thing that should never disappear is honesty. If someone is talented, acknowledge it. If someone created something great, recognize it. Giving credit where it's due doesn't make you weaker. It makes you wiser. And often, the people who can respect talent, regardless of personal feelings, are the people who earn the most respect themselves.